All right, this is going to be the recording for PM session for today, 2/4 Wednesday. Um, Testing the strength switch between assets on NQ and YM. So we can look at this piece of price action around 1 p.m. New York Standard Time. I was watching the charts and I had noticed this piece of structure starting to play out. We end up getting an SMT here when 15 on YM opens low, and we can see that that has already occurred here on NQ, which tells me it's the leading asset. Furthermore, this high indicated up here, right above the daily open, has already been taken on NQ, right? So moving to the next relative high here, right? This is if we're going to continue to attack this high, YM should continue in favor of that, right? And so entering here on NQ on the closure could give quite a bit of drawdown in terms of risk management. So this structure did not look clean to me. So I wanted to take a look at YM. So on the closure here, I end up getting in one contract and I put my stop down here. And I'm just watching, right? I'm watching how is NQ and how is YM responding to this high here, right? So that's what I start with and I'll play it through. Okay. Immediately, this is really nice. Did I pause it? I did. Okay. So you can see immediately here. Let me just grab this over here. Immediately here, we end up running up, right? But we rejected daily open and we end up taking this high here. Where is it? We end up taking this high. It's this high right here. Okay. So now we have this major SMT, right? Which normally would make me hesitate or change my thinking. However, this is where I'm practicing strength switch, right? We know, right, that NQ was the stronger asset. It just ran to its high. Okay. So does that mean there's a strength switch that's going to occur that's going to allow YM to become the stronger asset in order to catch up to that, right? And that's really what we're looking at here. Okay, so we expand right away. Okay, and then you're going to see here we end up rebalancing. Boom, right here. Okay, so this rebalance, if I can get to it, oh, whatever. That's it's not going to let me do it. That's unfortunate. I'll just plot along, I guess, and show you uh, about one here. Then I ended up buying one here on the rebalance. Okay, I bought one on the rebalance here. Now that was a little early. I see that. However, um, my stop, you'll see here in a minute. Okay, now we can see here we create this fair value gap, maybe inverse. I'm just monitoring it. Okay, but this is 30 opening low, so that gives me conviction that we are on sides for the trade. Okay, because we're in an open low scenario. The draw, in my opinion, up here and here has not been met. So this is just a rebalance. Okay. And that's what I'm looking for. So I also check the 15. Okay, because I want to see some sort of protected low on a 15-minute time frame to give me more conviction for the setup, right? So I continue to wait here. Okay. Play this through. Okay, so there goes 30. Okay, but we don't quite make it there. So I end up waiting for 45. Okay, and you'll see here. So 45 prints. Okay, oops. Well, anyways, it prints and then we get the CSDOB. So I end up adding again here. Okay, and then I put my stop below this low here. Okay, let me continue to play this. Okay, and we can see here that NQ is dumping when YM is really just consolidating, right? And the reason I drew this line out here and your attention to this is you'll see in a minute, right? We end up taking that, creating SMT, and then we close back above, right? This is a 15-minute swing point that is now a protected low, right? Why is that important? Because our stop should always go underneath 15-minute protected lows. That's when we know we're right on with the model in the correct PO3. Okay, so now we're in 3, targeting that high up there. Okay, like so. And I end up deciding that I want to take 2 off when we get here because I really want it. Again, this is all about strength switch. So if that's the case, and NQ has already taken that, then there is no reason YM shouldn't rip to here, even though that's, I didn't really think that might happen. I was more looking for this, and I'll explain why in a minute. So anyways, we continue to play this through. Okay. Right here, I take 2 off. Okay. So now I'm in 1. And then this is where my recording earlier started that ended up playing. So anyways, this is where we're at. I end up moving my stop here, just even though, and then I'll show you what ends up happening. So then I'm waiting for 2 o'clock. I decide, let me move my stop below, okay, below 45, right? Because 2 o'clock can open low, right? And need a rebalance, okay? But then here we go, 2 o'clock opens low, rebalances this expansion leg, and then we get the CSD. So I bought another one, right? Why? What True says, any correct PO3 on the way to the draw is an additional add. So again, practicing trust in the model, right? We add one here. This is an open low, correct PO3. We add again, right? We get we get another open low CSD. We add again, right? Would it have been better to wait for the 15-minute protected low and CSD of 51 to enter an additional on 53? For sure, but the logic still applies. So now I'm in 2, okay? And I'm going to run for this high up here, right? This high up here, because I was in 3, I took 2, now I added, okay? And then we'll continue on. Beep, beep, beep. So we end up rebalancing here, okay? And you can see it's on NQ, right? The rebalance is on NQ, right? Boom, into this OB, the series of down close, right? So even though we broke here in CSD, it means nothing because we're supporting this opening price. Oops. Okay, so now, right, still in 2, we stop just short of the draw. Okay, why is that? Well, we probably need to engineer some more liquidity, in my opinion. So now, right, I'm either gonna, and you'll see in the video, I hesitate and I don't do it. There's 2 more ads I almost did, but I was added out enough, so I just played it and watched it. So this is just setting up more engineered liquidity, right? Could add right here, right? Okay, and this is when I knew we were good, right? I felt good, but right here at 27, because this rebalance took these lows, which did not here. You can see this OB rebalance in CSD here. Okay, and what I was watching is this. I zoomed in, looking for the 1-minute OB confirmation right here. You can see it did not occur. So I actually looked on MNQ, and you can see here that we did get the CSD on MNQ. And this happened twice this week, which is frustrating. So anyways, this gave me more conviction, right? To do what? To say, where's the next draw, right? Where's the next draw? And that draw is up here, right? This is the next significant price swing on a higher time frame. I'll show you. So this was now my next draw, and you can see here that this draw and this draw are now the ones I'm targeting. We're taking it, consolidating, so I expect this to continue on. Okay, so I'm planning on taking 1 off here. Oh, and at this point, I move my stop here because I now know price cannot come back down until the draw's been met, right? So I'm waiting. Okay, and 30 takes it, right, and then runs high. Okay, like so. So I clear 1 off. Oh wait, I messed up. I'm sorry. I can't back up, but I actually added. I added 1 here. I forgot. I'm sorry. Where is it? On that wick I told you here. And the reason why I'll show you in a second here. Like I said, we had that manipulation also. This was OB on top of. Oh, there we go. This was OB on top of the 15's opening price. So this is OB, OB, open low, rebalance, sweep out the lows, right? Turtle soup expansion. So when this closed, I added. So really I'm in 2 here, and I'm not going to be able to do it now because it'll move it up. But I took 1 off there. Or I was in 3, sorry. So I took 1 off there, and I'm still in 2. And then I was just targeting this high up here. And then I'll run it through here. And then I'm just measuring OBs, and I'm watching the strength switch, right? How do we know there's a strength switch going on, right? Gaps, right? Watching how are they responding to one another. We know that this draw is already taken on NQ. So now, right, YM is the leading asset. Structure looks way cleaner than this. Okay, so anyways, so I'm measuring OBs and monitoring it. I'm still in 2. I want to take 1 off up at the key level. So here I take 1 off, and since I can't take 1 off right now, I'm just going to show this to you. So now this is where we're at. Okay, beautiful, clean on everything. I have 1 contract left. We can see here that, look at that, right? NQ, okay, has now done what? It's taken its key level, right? So what should happen? Strength switch, right? That means YM should continue to the draw, right? So let's just watch here. It goes up, misses it, builds the OB, Dunzo right there, right? I mean, perfect trade, perfect execution on YM with ads and TPs. This was in total, it was like a $4,900 trade, which was nice. But not that I care about that. Just structure wise, this gave me a lot of confidence in trading YM. And this looked, I mean, granted, right here, I was watching. You can see, where is it? Right here. When we were rebalancing this, it was because this range got manipulated outside of, and so even though we had the CSD below the opening price here, it was only because we needed to reach EQ. And you can see what's interesting is once that occurred, right here, right, that's built the OB, then boom, once closed above, all we have to do is expand. So that was the PM session trade for today, Wednesday. I'll stop the recording now and then go over some other stuff.